Good morning, children. How are you all? I think all of you are fit and fine. Children, in our EVS, we will start a new portion. Till now, lesson 11 to 16, the portion which we have covered is based on geography. Now, in our EVS from lesson 17, we will study Indian history and the story behind Indian independence. So, today we are going to start lesson 17 of our EVS book. The name of the lesson is The British Rule and the First War of Independence. So, before starting the actual story behind the First War of Independence, we will come to know the history prior to that period. Okay, beta? So, now the actual lesson I am starting with you. India enjoyed a flourishing trade with Europe in the ancient times. So, that means India was having good trade relationship with Europe or European countries. India enjoyed a flourishing trade with Europe in the ancient times. Indian spices, silk, and cotton were taken by land to ports in the Red Sea. So, what, what India is trading with European countries? Mainly, India is having trade with European countries like spices, Indian silk, and Indian cotton. At that time, these things are world famous. From these ports, the goods were loaded in ships bound for Europe. So, from the Indian ports, these things are loaded in the ships and ported to Europe. Things are Indian spice, silk, and cotton. For a long time, most of these trade was untroubled. So, India had a trade with Europe at that time for a long time. Means without any interruption, India had a trade with European countries. Things began to change after a Portuguese explorer called Vasco da Gama discovered a direct sea route to India from the lowest coast of Africa. So, the world trading, the way it was pursued before, has been changed, radically changed, just because of Vasco da Gama. Why? The person discovered a direct sea route to India from the lowest coast of Africa. After the discovery of this new sea route, Europeans began sailing to India directly for trade. So, Before this time, before the short route was invented, Indian articles are ported to Europe through Red Sea. Now, Vasco da Gama has invented a short direct link, and many Europeans began sailing to India directly for trade. The Portuguese were the first to reach India. So, when the shortest route has been invented, then who came first India for trading? Portuguese people came to India for trading. They were followed by Dutch and French. Children, look at the image. This is the image of Vasco da Gama, about whom we are discussing now. So, who followed post Portuguese? Portuguese were followed by Dutch and French people to had a trade with India. All these traders made huge profit from their trade with India. So, whoever came that time, that means the Portuguese, the Dutch people, and the French people, they have made a huge profit from their trade with India. This led to stiff competition and rivalry among them. So, when they achieved a huge profit through Indian trade with Indians, that led to a competition and rivalry amongst them. But the British were the final winners after ousting other European powers. That means British people are the final winner in this race. When they entered into the Indian territory, they tried to grab the whole India. They tried to power over India, rule over India for their own profit. Children, this is the image of a Portuguese colony of ancient time. Look at the image. This is the image that is depicting a Portuguese colonial culture. Next point of discussion. How did the British come to rule India? Initially, the British came to India only for trade. So, by following Portuguese and Dutch people, initially British people came to India only with the intention to have had a trade with India. But Soon after that, their intention has been changed. But soon they realized the need to establish their rule over Indian territories so they could trade freely. So soon after entering India, their intention has been changed and they tried to overpower Indian territory. They tried to establish what is their main intention, main motive. Their motive was to establish their rule over Indian territories so they could trade freely. They started building ports and maintained armies at their trading centers. So soon they realized to rule over India, what they started? They started building ports and maintained armies at their trading centers. The first sign of this change was the Battle of Palashi, which took place in 1757 in Bengal. So, beta, what is the outcome we are getting from here? The outcome is that the first sign of this change was the Battle of Palashi in 1757 in West Bengal. Children, the last image I am showing here, that is the image of Battle of Palashi, which has been occurred in Palashi, West Bengal. After this, the Battle of Buxar took place in 1764. The British rule was established, which expanded over the whole India in the next 200 years. So, children, immediately after the Battle of Palashi, a next battle occurred in India, that is the Battle of Buxar in the year of 1764. When continuous this battle had been taken place? After the establishment of the British rule in India. They just tried to occupy the Indian territories. Then only the struggle and the battle in Indian land had been started. Children, this is one of the image of Battle of Buxar of that time. So look at this image. This is one of the image of Battle of Buxar that has been taken place in India in the year of 1764. Next point I will discuss with you. The point is about unrest. This unrest point is categorized in two portions. One is kings and nawabs unhappy. Number two, farmers unhappy. So why the unraised position has been raised in India? Just because of the unhappiness of the kings and nawabs, and just because of the unhappiness of the farmers. So I will come to the first point, why kings and nawabs are unhappy. The kings and nawabs are unhappy because the power of the kings and nawabs were taken away by Britishers. And many unjust rules, laws were passed by the British, like doctrine of lapse, according to which if a ruler, that means king, died without leaving a male child, male heir, his territory would pass on to British hands. So, this is the main reason behind the unhappiness of the kings and nawabs of that time. Reason? British passed the rule. The name of the rule is Doctrine of Lapse. What is there in this rule? The rule was saying that if the ruler died without a male child, male heir, whole territory of that ruler, that king or that nawabs will pass to the British hands automatically. And second point of discussion is why the farmers are unhappy. Beta, farmers are also unhappy because farmers were forced to grow indigo plants. Now the question is coming within your mind, what is indigo plants? The blue color obtained from this plant was used to dye cloth. See, children, here is a garden visible in this image, and the plants grown with blue colored flowers. These are said to be the indigo plants, and these blue indigo flowers are used to dye clothes in blue color. So why the farmers are unhappy? Farmers were unhappy just they were forced by the Britishers to grow only indigo plants. They were forced to sell it only to British, that too at a very low price. Their fields become useless. So the reason behind their unhappiness is that Britishers forced them to grow only indigo in their land and forced to sell them to the Britishers only at a very low cost. And just because of the plantation of indigo, the fertility of the land is also become also reducing. That means in future their land will not become that much fertile as it was in early days. Some farmers were forced to grow cotton, which was too bought by British traders at low cost. So, secondly, Britishers were forcing Indian farmers to grow cotton use in some lands. And second sad thing was that they were forced to sell those cottons only to the Britishers. The Indian farmers are not been able to sell those cottons to any other person. Therefore, the cotton farmers and the weavers too suffered from extreme poverty. So, what is the outcome of that? So few farmers who used to grow only cotton, they are starving at that time. They were facing extreme poverty because they are not been they was were not been liable to sell those cottons in open market to anybody else. Only British person will buy those cotton, and as well as with a very less price. Traders were also not allowed to set up their own mills or factories. So, third thing here, reason behind the dissatisfaction is Indian traders were not also allowed to set up their own mills or factories. They were forced to made only in goods acquired by the British. So, what the Britishers forced the traders? Britishers were forced to trade only the goods acquired by the British. That is one more reason behind the dissatisfaction of the farmers as well as the traders. Children, look at this image. This is the logo of East India Company. This is the famous logo of the East India Company. Now, our next point of discussion is First War of Independence. As mentioned above, almost all classes of people were unhappy and discontented. Children, just earlier, few minutes back, I have discussed with you almost all class of people who belongs to India. Original Indian people were very much unhappy and discontented with the rules which are followed by the Britishers during that time. This discontentment amongst the natives of India gave rise to revolt in the year 1857. This is called the First War of Independence. So, as an outcome of the dissatisfaction of Indian people, what happened? Indian people gave rise to revolt in the year 1857. So Indian people revolted as against of British rule, British regulations, what they were following in India. So as a result, as an outcome, the First War of Independence took place in Indian history in the year of 1857. Children, this is the image. Look at the image very properly. This is the image of the First War of Independence at the year of 1857. Now I will discuss with you the causes and effects of the First War of Independence. First, I will discuss with you about the causes of First War of Independence, and lastly, I will discuss with you about the effects of First War of Independence. Causes. The revolt was sparkled off by the Indian soldiers of the British Army. The Indian soldiers were humiliated as there was marked discrimination and disparity in the salary and stations of the Indian and the European soldier. So, First War of Independence occurred because Indian soldiers were humiliated by the Britishers. By why? Because there was a huge discrimination and disparity within the salary which is disbursed to the Indian soldiers as well as to the Britishers. That's why Indian soldiers got very angry, got dissatisfied, and they felt hurt, humiliated, and insulted. Next, the immediate cause was the use of greased cartridges. Another reason behind the war is the cartridge used that time was greased, use of the greased cartridges. These cartridges, these cartridges had animal fat and had to be bitten off before being loaded. So, Indian animals are bitten, and this animal fat has been used to grease the cartridge which is used in the war. That is the another reason behind the discontentment. This offended both the Hindus and Muslims, so they revolted. That is the another main reason behind the revolt. Why? Because Britishers used to bit animals and their fat is used to greased the cartridges, and those cartridges are used in the war. They were joined by a number of leaders from the different parts of India. In Delhi, the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was declared the Emperor of India and the leader of the revolt. So, what we are getting here? Many leaders and prominent person has been joined from different parts of India in this revolt. And lastly, the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was declared the Emperor of India and the leader of the revolt. Leader of the revolt of in 1857. The other famous leaders of this revolt were Nana Sahib Tantia Tope from Kanpur and Liaquat Ali and Kunwar Singh from Bihar. They are the three prominent leaders who joined in this War of Independence in the year of 1857. Two brave women also, Rani Lakshmibai and Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh. Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh too fought in this struggle for freedom. So, what is the outcome we are getting here? Not only the prominent female of India also come forward and joined the struggle for freedom. Isn't it, children? So, at that time, women are not bounded inside the house only, they have come forward and joined the war. Children, look at this image. This is the coin of the East India Company. At that time, this coin has been made. It is printed over here 1808. This is the emblem of East India Company. This is one of the coin. That time's economy produced this coin of East India Company. And finally, we have reached to the final point, that is the result of the first war of independence that had occurred in the year of 1857. So now I will discuss with you about the result of this war. First result, Rani of Jhansi gave her life in the battlefield. So first outcome, Rani of Jhansi expired on this battlefield of 1857. Number 2, Bahadur Shah Zafar was imprisoned and was sent to Rangoon in Burma. So in this war effect, Bahadur Shah Zafar was sent to imprisonment in Rangoon, Burma. Third, it ended the rule of the East India Company. So, what is the best outcome we are getting from here? We are getting the best outcome of this war is it ended the rule of the East India Company. Number 4, the British government took complete and direct control of the administration of India. So now another another worst part yet to come with the Indian economy, Indian government, is that British government took complete and direct control of the administration of India. Now India had gone to the direct administrative control of British government. The Governor General of India was made the Viceroy. The Governor General of India, who was previously the Governor General of India, was now made the Viceroy. Last point, the Indian princes were permitted to rule their territories but under the British. So, what is the last change? Last effect of this war is that the Indian princes were permitted to rule their territories but within the control of British government. The revolt of 1857 was also called the Sepoy Mutiny by the British. What is the another name? The another name of the war of 1857 is Sepoy Mutiny by the British. The seed of discontent continued to grow. That means that discontentment has not been stopped at that moment only. The seed of discontentment continued to grow. The nationalist feeling born during the struggle became deeper year after year. That means the main best thing happened after this revolt is that the nationalist feeling born within the mind of the people. This feeling inspired the Indians to finally succeed in overthrowing the foreign rule in 1947. So, what is the best outcome we are getting through this first war of independence is these feelings inspired the Indians to finally succeed in overthrowing the foreign rule in 1947. So, years after that, Indian was succeeded in overthrowing the foreigners, the Britishers and their rule ultimately in the year of 1947. Children, look at the image. That is through this image, you will get some hints about the Indian climate, culture after the first war of independence. Okay, children, this much is there for you in my today's session. We will next meet with a new lesson in our next session. Till then, children, goodbye.